foremost, I gotta double check from doing it for my research. The little I got a chance to speak to you. You're full Cuban or you half Cuban?
No, I'm full Cuban,
Full
born
Cuban.
in the
Okay.
United States.
Bad. Born in the United States. So just like I tell every Cuban that comes to my platform, I gotta ask from a Cuban to Cuban, what is your parents' stories and how the heck they got here to the States? Tell me your great tragic story, because I know every story that comes through here is tragic.
My parents came to the United States. They were both Cuban refugees. My dad came in 1968 and through Spain, and then he sponsored my mom, and she came in 1970 through Mexico, and they settled in the Bronx. My mom brought my brother, because my brother was born in Cuba, and I was born in the Bronx, Bronx girl.
Oh, you're a Bronx girl.
um,
Look at
yeah,
you. I
Bronx
thought you
girl.
were.
Yeah,
All
yeah, I was
right.
born in the Bronx, and we lived in the Bronx for a couple years, and then we moved to New Jersey, and we lived in New Jersey for 10 years, and then we moved to California because my mom sponsored her parents, her sisters, and the rest of my dad's family moved to Florida, and my mom's family moved to California. We moved to California. So,
Oh, so
and
that
I've
was your
been
dream
here.
package pretty much.
Yeah, I've been here for 44 years
Um,
in California.
okay.
California.
Cami Foley. I gotta ask, Jersey, Union City?
Elizabeth.
Ah, close enough.
My mom worked in Union City.
Yeah, I gotta ask. 'Cause I'm originally a Jersey boy, so I was stuck. I was created in Patterson, but I grew up in Union City, and then from Union City I came up to Massachusetts.
Yeah, no,
So,
I lived till I was 10 in Elizabeth.
all right. So with your parents, was it a situation that they were escaping communism just because they hate the system, or they had some kind of beef with the government, meaning were they like political prisoners, or they just saw what was going on? They said, I had enough.
Well, my parents were from Oriente.
Hmm.
Um, my dad was from Manatí, and my mom was from a small town near Bayamo called Veguita, and they were both, you know, my grandfather had una finca, and they took everything. They took everything they had, and my dad's family came first, and they had no life. They had no future there anymore. They basically were stuck there. Um, my dad had beef with the government, and they they had no means. They had no means to, live a life in Cuba anymore. Their original thought was to leave Cuba and that they would one day return. And my father left first and made a life in New York. And that's why he brought my mother. And that was the original plan. And when we came here, when I was born, and the whole original idea behind them coming here was to create a life to one day return to Cuba. Like us always speaking Spanish. Like never, I mean, we were not allowed to speak English at home ever. I'm completely fluent. My brother lives in Ohio, and his Spanish is awful, but we were never allowed to speak English at home. I mean, amongst each other, we could kind of if we were playing, but that was like I probably when we were like 7 or 8. But I didn't learn English until I was probably going into kindergarten, because the idea was that we would one day, return to Cuba. My mom wanted us to be able to, communicate with our grandparents and with our family members, and that was the idea that we would return to Cuba until it became evident that we would never return until Cuba was free. And I mean, as time went by, that that goal became further and further away. Like it
Yeah.
just and my mom, she swore she would never return to Cuba until communism fell, and she has never gone back. And my father died and never returned to Cuba. His my older half brother passed away. My father never got to see him. I still have a sister in Cuba. Most of my mom's family, almost all of my mom's family is here, but I still have a sister that's in Cuba that has never been able to leave. And that is heartbreaking, but it's something that I will never go there until communism has fallen. And that's
Yeah. And that seems to be everybody's story because my friend that I had a couple of weeks ago, she told me the story. She'd never been to Cuba because she wanted to honor her parents. They don't want to go there until it's free. I've never gone to Cuba, and I honor my parents' wishes because they don't want to go there till it's free. Um, I just recently, just last year, I ended up burying my grandfather, and he passed away without meeting his grandkids because he was allowed to go back, and he wasn't going. He had no plans to come back until things changed, and it's so heartbreaking. That seems to be like our story, and I mean, where I live at is predominantly a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, so they have that luxury to go back and like see their family, meet their grandparents, learn their culture. As they go over there and go back and forth. Like I remember vividly being a kid and all my friends, all the summertime, I didn't see them because they were out on the island for the whole summer because they were just
mm,
learning the culture. And I mean, for years I always brushed it up. I never looked at it as a big thing. And where I'm at, there's not really that much of our people here. So I looked at it one thing and the other. It wasn't messed with me until I got older, until I got into my 20s. And I was trying to get in touch with like, my culture.
yeah.
And you realize, damn, I'm actually missing something. I'm missing this part of the culture that I wish I could have. And I hate saying this, but like the closest thing that a lot of Cubans have in their culture is pretty much going to Florida. That's their Cuba. That's the closest thing they have from their Cuba.
Yeah, I mean it's and I have grown nieces that go there. Their mom's there. My brother's the one that passed away, his wife is there, and their daughters are here, and they go several times a year. And I mean, I get it. That's their mom. They go there to see her, and my nephew, he goes to see his mom, and I get that. I get that
Mhm.
they go there and they are unable to bring her, and I get that whole that struggle, but I can't. I just
Yeah.
it's not there. It's it's hard, and so many have come, but then I see also the people that come here and then immediately go back. And then that to me is it's like then why did you leave?
Well, that's the new age coming up. I will touch upon that in a second. There's a lot of like the new cats that have been coming up, and that was after Obama did that fuck shit and
Yeah.
like letting everything open. That's that. What I want to touch on that in a second.